teams. The AM is a touch greedy, but I think it's okay given the supports they have. Like Bane and Tusk are really good at causing early game engagements, and then you have Spartan on top of that playing the Slardar. So I think the NLG have the heroes necessary to make some room. But 4CL are almost pure aggression, right? Like mid-game fighting with Ember, he transitions pretty well into late game. You got Clockwork for initiation, you got Night Stalker for vision. I think 4CL also have the tools that they need to be able to shut NLG down. It just depends on who gets the better early game. It's actually pretty funny if you look at the warding. Both teams have warded pretty much, like more or less identically in the same areas, right? So they both want vision of their respective safe lane and off lanes, but for now, just gonna see how the lanes are gonna shape up. And it looks like a standard defensive tri-lane so far from NLG to protect the AM. And we're not gonna see any real aggressive play coming out from 4CL. So they're saying, all right, we can wait for the mid-game timing. We can afford to get some levels. Bambo with a little block going on here, bottom lane as well.
Top lane, Nico and EGM moving in. Got the Flame Guard here, ticking Mitch down. He's got 11 shards, he'll be fine, walks it off. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how active the two carries can be. The fact that Nico, obviously on the Ember Spirit, is gonna be able to be maybe a little bit more involved than Matter is going to be on the anti-mage, but it's going to be a question of whether he plays his anti-mage like he plays his Slark, where he still finds a lot of involvement across the map. And I've got to be honest, from the first game, I was very impressed from Matter's performance. Yeah. And we'll see if he's able to kind of bring up a similar level on the anti-mage in game 2.
He was gigantic in game 1, although he had a tremendous amount of space. There wasn't really much that I feel 4CL could do to punish him in game 1. But like you said, Nico is going to be fairly active during the mid-game. They have a lot of catch potential too, being able to remnant forward, getting that Searing Chains out, avoid in a silence or like a misplaced blink by the AM could very easily be his death.
Mid lane just putting some harassment down onto Excalibur, forcing him back, and in terms of CS as well, Queen is having a lot better time in the mid lane than the Rim Ranger. Incoming.
Yeah, I think like Pycat plays Queen. Mitch.
It's going to be a first, but the Salve, that's just going to be enough to save him. And looking for a turnaround. Bottom lane, Milan and Bambo just trading hits. Top lane, still kicking off. The shots did trap up EGM. Mitch, can he get this? I think he can. One more should do it, but this time the Salve from EGM is going to allow him to walk this off. And yeah, Nico turns up, and they're going to be able to keep the Night Stalker alive. So a couple of very, very clutch salves coming out from both teams.
Is like dying to creeps, all right? But I was going to mention that Pycat, I think one of his best heroes is actually Queen.
Yes.
Like he does excel at playing the laning bullies, as it were. So I think that this is going to be his forte, his comfort zone. Call it what you will. I think he'll do more than okay. But man, this Tusk is causing a lot of issues.
Oh, he is.
Like there are 3 heroes top lane who are basically out of regen completely. And they, like, that's kind of insane to think about. Because it's one hero.
All right, certainly taking up a lot of resources of 4 Clovers to deal with Mitch. Now, Saxon's going to start going again with the Arctic Burn. Just harassing Mitch back. It's going to get fairly low here, but Nico not quite close enough to do anything about it in terms of jumping in. Mid lane, 15 for 5, 6 for 1. I mean, Pycat still with a very definitive edge in terms of CS.
He didn't have anyone go mid for him, did he? Or no, the Wyvern did.
The Wyvern
the Wyvern was there. Okay, so I was thinking if there was any way that he would get that far ahead, but the Wyvern coming there definitely does make sense, looking at the CS and seeing how Pycat has had such a pretty insane lead at such an early stage. But for the most part, it's just a quiet early game. 4CL getting the better of the lanes, just in the sense that both of their cores are farming, whereas the Wind Ranger has a little bit of ground to recover, and he's even being sent back to base. That is like super bad. He doesn't even have enough money to buy bottle yet, so he has to walk all the way there, and he's going to have to spend money on a TP or make a support buy it. This is a very harsh mid lane for NLG right now.
Yeah, he's certainly looking up for 4 Clovers here in this game too. Matter, you know, he's getting perfect CS pretty much down on this bottom lane. But it's, yeah, the fact that you just look at it kind of team versus team. You've got 2 heroes doing very well on 4 Clovers, as opposed to the 1 doing very well on NLG. And the fact that they kind of rely on this Wind Ranger as well to get a good start and be active around the map to deal with your heroes like the Ember Spirit. Pycat, he's got an Invis rune here. He's not going to set up anything onto Milan, but they will bring in the Wyvern towards the mid lane, and we'll see if Pycat, with the help of the Wyvern, can maybe find some action onto Excalibur.
They got a sentry there, so it should be quite easy to spot.
Yeah, and Pycat just reveals it straight away, realizing that that was probably going to be the case with the sentry.
Oh, top lane.
And this time, Mitch gets the snowball out. EGM, he has got a void again in a couple of seconds, but the Flame Guard damage ticking down. It's going to be nearly enough, and EGM will toggle off the aggro of the tower towards Nikra, so both heroes being able to get themselves out, and nicely done off the back of that. And at the same time, makes a second kill mid. The shackle shot will latch, and Excalibur, can he get himself out of this one? No, he can't. Pike's got a haste, he's got himself a scream. Second kill on the board for the side of 4 Clovers. And, early game, certainly going the way here of the side of the Dire. And level 6 is now going to be up on Quap, so Pycat next time he looks to go, he's going to have that Sonic Wave as well.
This is getting a little bit scary for NLG's early game. Did they not see the ward mid? The Sentry definitely sees it, but I think Night Vision might restrict them from getting the actual D ward itself. So that's going to be a bit of a bummer of NLG if they don't get that ward down soon. The haste rune, maybe Steve didn't see it, but when they went for the dive, like a haste just guarantees a kill on Queen at this early stage. There's no way you're going to be able to stop it unless the Bane was there a little bit faster. And unfortunately, Milan did not have the TP reaction that Excalibur was going to need to live. And it does just continue to secure farm for at least the AM because they're not pressuring him at all. They've ignored him completely in lane, so Madara is sitting at 37 and 8. I think that's near perfect CS. I think he's a couple short.
He's having a good time. And this is, of course, the beginning of the issue that 4 Clovers had in the first game. They didn't do enough about Madara's farm. So we'll see if it kind of transcends as badly as it did for 4 Clovers in this game if Anti-Mage does get that good head start in lane. Spawn trying to move in, but Saxon just jukes it out with the Arctic Burn. Looks for the turnaround. Milan's there as well. So Wyvern's got to be careful. Rambo's come quite far down the lane, but he's got the cogs, so he'll be able to block him off in the river. Keeps himself fine, and now he's drawing a kind of the interest of 3 heroes from the side of NLG. Just got to free up a bit of space, of course, on the top lane for Nikra on his Ember Spirit to get that farm in.
Yeah, it is important to note, like as you mentioned, they didn't really contest Madara last game, but that's because they were basically losing 4v5. So when that happens, obviously Madara is going to get total free farm, and in that game, Slark was a very hard hero to track down in the first place. But here, at least 4CL are making trades elsewhere on the map. They're not just letting Madara farm and still losing at the same time. When you have stuff like that, a team with an AM, if you're already winning the early game, that's like the dream. Then it's like, okay, no pressure. I can do whatever I want. And then I get way more farm because my team's pressuring in the 4v5 matchup. But here, he might experience a little bit of a different mid-game.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of farm as well, Steve is catching up on the Wind Ranger. 26-2 against the 35. That he's closing the gap. He's got the stacks going here in the jungle, so using that to just catch up with the lead that Pycat managed to find in lane. 7 minutes, and Madara is just trying to be as efficient as possible. Pushing out the lane, heading into the jungle, keeping his CS game up, and giving a bit of a solo XP here in the lane to Milan, so they can get a decent timing on the level 6 on that Fiend's Grip. Pycat once again has himself an Invis rune. Still yet to pop this Sonic Wave, and he's not going to be able to do anything with it as of yet. This is just Spartan hanging in the sidelines on the Slaughter. And top lane Nikra, how's he doing in terms of farm on the Ember Spirit? What kind of money is he sitting on? So, okay, finishing off the Aquila first before making that first big pickup, and we'll probably expect to see him go for, I'd imagine, on top of the completed one, the straight-up bots rush, which we pretty much see every time now from the Ember players.
Yeah, it's really good in these types of games as well, because you can just bot into where the Night Stalker is ganking, and sometimes like EGM can go for a lane gank, and you TP and you get the kill by using Remnant forward to get a nice Searing Chains off. But Nico is already more than capable of fighting. He's got TP, he's got Aquila and full wand on the way. With those items alone in level 7, that's plenty.
Oh geez, look at these CPs coming through. Nico will round and pat, but the Snowball still connects. Mitch has gone straight into the front of this one, but they've got the Void from EGM. Mitch is going to look for the TP out, but they've got the Searing Chains to stop it. They'll find themselves one kill. Pycat linking forward, looking for more. Should be able to find Milan, and he does. Now Spartan needs to be careful. They didn't even need to use the Sonic Wave there. But 2 more kills under the belt at 4 Clovers of Tower as well.
That snowball was like crazy optimistic. Did he snowball before daytime? That's actually kind of important to know. If he snowballed before daytime, he might not have seen the rest of the heroes sitting behind him. Otherwise, it would have been not really the greatest play coming out from the tusk of NLG. So hopefully Mitch can find a little bit better engagements in the future. He hasn't really been able to do a whole lot. It's very difficult to gank Queen in the early game as Tusk unless you have a really high damage dealer mid or some kind of hard disable. Otherwise, Queen just blinks, right? You snowball in, it's like, okay, well, this isn't going to do anything. Queen blinks away. I'm not going to go bottom because my AM is already free farming. My time is not really useful there. So I'm kind of wondering if this Tusk is going to have the kind of impact that we so often see them have. Is you just go into a team fight, you cause a bit of disruption, and then you guarantee a kill with the shards or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, that on top of it. And then overall, just the fact that Madara's anti-mage, he's having a good first 9 minutes of the game. I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't
he
really
is.
care about what's going on elsewhere on the map. He himself, in his own little farming world, he's happy with the bottom lane.
He's actually got phenomenal CS for under 9 minutes. Like 74, 845 is crazy. He did actually kill, I believe, a Satyr camp in the medium stack,
He
and
did,
something
yeah,
else on top of that too. So it's a little bit bloated because of the jungle creeps, but at the end of the day, you're rocking almost 10 CS a minute at 9 minutes. That's insane. Like, it's actually important to have the most amount of farm in the early game prior to getting Battle Fury, because as soon as you get that item, you change the way that you play the game.
Okay.
You don't have to sit in lane anymore. You don't have to show. You can play as safe as you want, and the team can kind of create the space for you by smoking and looking for other engagements. If you feel like you're ahead, obviously you can come to a fight, but more often than not, in this type of game, a Night Stalker Silence and a Queen early Orchid can just be the bane of your existence. So this is what NLG are looking at and saying, okay, Madara is farming amazing. So when he gets his Battle Fury timing at like 12 minutes, 13 minutes, we're going to look to get him a Manta like as soon as possible, because Pycat's also had a pretty good start. And you need to make sure that that Manta timing comes out a little bit after or before the Orchid's available. Otherwise, you become a target for ganks, and that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, Pycat, as you said, is he just definitely going to be the Orchid? He's got to get
I think it has to be Orchid.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to go Aghanims, I suppose you could justify it by saying our team fight's always better, so we can just have Aghanims for the 5v5 and we can push off of it. But 4CL have a hard time going high ground, so I think it's usually the better play to just have something that innately pressures the AM, and then you don't have to show your Queen that often. You can farm jungle or whatever. Oh, for Hall E-nodes, you could be right next to him. You know, and that it's just that pressure that makes you say, okay, I don't want to keep pushing this lane, or I need to have my team behind me if I'm going to be doing that. And then the team plays less efficient, and it's just like it's a mental game, really.
Okay, and I mean, also, obviously, at the moment, the clockwork for the side of 4 Clovers, how's he doing at the moment? What's he managed to pick up here on the clock?
He's got level 5.
Okay, he's got the goal racking up, but
yeah,
he's going to have the hook shot online fairly shortly. And I mean, with that, do you feel we'll see some kind of rotations coming down towards the bottom lane, or will Clock leave the lane and look elsewhere for kills?
The Clock will... I mean, either one can happen, actually. That's the beauty of 4CL's team, as they don't have to play it one particular way. If Bambo lands a hook on somebody in the safe lane that's not AM, you could very easily see a follow-up. Alternatively, if they catch him with the Searing Chains too, it stops the AM's blink, so you can still kill him, even prior to the Queen picking up that Orchid. But the aggressive potential from 4CL is great. Not to mention, Wind Ranger and Bane, not so good against Clockwork, because Wind Ranger typically relies on Wind Run to get out of an engagement, just by dodging the incoming physical damage and also getting the movement speed bonus. But if you're stuck in cogs, no one on NLG can save you except for Snowball. And maybe if you throw on Ice Shards perfectly. I think we saw Spartan or somebody do that the other day.
We did, where it shoves your friend.
You can do
your ally
that
out
too,
of the
but that's
cogs,
much harder. And if you fail, well, then you've wasted a nuke to try to save somebody.
Yes. So. Yeah. Well, we do once again apologise for this pause. We're just having a quick reboot here for Madder, I believe, on the anti-mage. She's just got a reboot.
Looks like Bambo's got a hot date, man. He's asking how much
like,
pause
how
time
much pause time, lads? We need
I
to
believe it's
speed this
10
up.
minutes a match, I want to say.
Whoa. Sad life Bambo. Wow. Spartan with the flames.
Yeah, we got
Even gets the
flamers.
question mark back there. Bambo's not happy about that. Been called a sad life.
Yeah, so 5 minutes left, says the DreamLeague admin. But as far as the early game, I think 4CL have gotten enough. They just need to always apply pressure. And Pycat, he's going to be one you're going to look at and say, all right, when's the Orca coming out? Are you going to be able to stop this AM? Is Bambo going to land his hooks? Are they going to find picks? Can they control the map? These are all really, really important things for their lineup, because Night Stalker vision control, and you compare that to like NLG, who don't really have the best 5-man, you really do want to be able to split up if you're NLG. You want to farm efficiently. You want your AM to be somewhere, you want your Wind Ranger to be somewhere else, and then you have like support sitting behind them. The problem is in small scale fights, 4CL have a huge advantage. Their damage output is high, they have a large amount of disables, and I'm not entirely sure laning phase if NLG have gotten everything they wanted. The only thing that's going well for them is the AM free farm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as we said, Steve's keep it up on the Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
He's still got a fair bit to go before he's kind of at the same volatility as the Quap. And still just...
I just think in general, it's tougher for a Wind Ranger to have the same impact as a Queen when you're looking at a full-fledged teamfight lineup. Because it's much harder to consistently land 2 hero shackles or like even just a normal shackle in some fights as it is to just boom, I hit 2 or 3 people with my Sonic Wave. You know, damage dealt. I've done my job. It just seems like it's that much more impactful and easier to execute as well. So looking at Pycat, he's going to have to have some decent plays from here on out. He saved quite a bit of gold too. Curious as to why he has that much. Wonder if he's debating going something other than Orchid this game.
Well, hopefully we'll get the show back on soon. Soon. TM.
What's happening right now?
What's going on?
They can't see it. You gotta. There we go. Brilliant.
Look at that.
Lumi does not look impressed. Why
He's
are you
not.
throwing it at me? It's getting violent here in the studio. I think people are getting tired and cranky. Shane apparently had heartburn, and you know what he said to me when we were sitting on the couch?
What did he say?
He said, it feels like I have indigestion in my heart. And I'm like, you just have heartburn. Because he said his chest hurt. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's some serious medical issue. He's like, no, he just has heartburn. He just doesn't know what heartburn is. You've never had it before, ever. All right. Well, on that bombshell,
We're back.
we're back.
Finally, some more Dota 2 for you lads and ladies at home. Thank you very much for holding on with us here. That short little bit of a break. Tip to wait for Madeira. The carry to the side of NLG to fix his shiz. But he's fixed it now. 9 minutes in. And the farm will continue here for Anti-Mage. 4-0 to the side of 4 Clovers. They found the kills. NLG yet to find one themselves. Andy, what's the plan?
Farm AM a
Farm
lot.
AM.
Get lots of farm. I guess the later you go, the higher chance that you're gonna have to be able to look at NLG and say, okay, the AM split push becomes scarier and scarier. At some stage, the Queen and the Clockwork won't be able to deal with him on their own anymore, and they'll have to start committing more and more to stopping Madara from getting those lanes pushed in. And that's when NLG can really start to utilize the space that the AM will actually give them once he gets the farm. And Saksa, you
He's
dead.
going to be able to get himself out. Got the Arctic burn
he doesn't
off.
have
He's going to go
punch.
for the fly around. And
He's only level 5.
all right, nice smoke, boys. Unlucky
Yeah.
there for NLG.
I
Didn't
thought
find
Mitch
the
was
kill.
level 6. Apparently he's not. Well, that's actually a big deal too. Like Clockwork hitting 6 first. Bambo with a decent amount more farm.
Deceptive rune of invisibility.
He's got that 6, but he's a little bit low on the old mana front, and he quit. He's got an invis. He's got the double remnant burst if he wants to try and go for it. 4 points in the flame guard as well.
I think it's too risky.
Go on. Come on.
Like there's 2 disables. Like he either gets nightmared and they walk away, or he gets stunned and they walk away.
And we're seeing Pycat. He's come down to this bottom lane to look for a bit of farming and contest that matters. Nice bit of a choice here by the crop. He's still got that sonic wave. He's going to have to wait till a position where matter is a bit lower than he is at the moment. He's got 1100 now on top of the Perseverance. And he's got the backup of Excalibur and Spartan as well in the neighborhood. Just playing it passively, playing it carefully here, the side of NLG. I don't want to give away any more kills to the line of her 4 Clovers. We've already seen them find them with relative ease, but 11 minutes in. Definitely one of the more passive games we've had today. EGM just getting nightmared up. They don't really have the follow-up. So it's going to be Bambo turning up for the side of 4 Clovers towards the mid. And he's got that hook shot. He's topped up in mana. We'll see if he's able to find any kind of lead in.
Right, Pyka has ultimate arm. Is he just rushing Hex? Is that
It could be the build. I mean, you already talked about how Orchid is going to be very nice, but with the rate of farm, there'll be a Manta eventually on the anti-mage. Why not just go Hex?
It is a bit more expensive though, and I think
It's
that
a little bit more expensive.
the thing is,
A lot, a bit more.
the reason why people like so often rush Orchid instead of Hex is because the timing of the item is about as important as what it does for you. And as Queen, you have enough burst to where you don't need like the slow from the Hex, right? Like you can just kill the hero before the silence wears off. It's not a problem. Hex lasts for a smaller duration. It will stop TPs. Pycat.
Matter is trying to go for it here.
He's alright.
Should be able to blink out. He's got a second play. Mandara is going to be able to get himself a Justal. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, Nikwa, he's not going to be as lucky. It's going to be a shackle shot there. Okay.
The movement
Nikwa,
speed slow,
just
man.
a little bit too short there.
Yeah. The
That's
punch
gonna-
slow OP.
Big kill there for NLG, getting themselves on the board. And that's a way to do it, taking down Nikra on his Ember. And I can't believe that the anti-mage got himself out of that one.
Yeah, that looked really, really bad for a second. Luckily, he put his treads on strength before he started channeling TP, or I think he would have actually died there. So good on Madara, the old tread switching AM. But
he's a smart man, yeah.
I think that killing really anyone at this point, if your NLG, is great. Like, it doesn't have to be a core necessarily. Just as long as you stop 4CL from trying to pressure your AM, I think that's all you really need at this point. They even have the lane ward down that's about to expire to show the rotation coming in. So Madara has a good idea of what's going to go down here. Just wants to bail. Try to continue to farm towards his Battle Fury. But 4CL are starting to pressure him now, not just letting him do what he wants.
They need to try and get some follow-up though. Nikra. He's not going to want to go for this. The TP reactions are coming out, and NLG themselves. Maybe seeing if they can try and chase into the back of this. EGM moving forward, gets the Void down onto Spartan. Spartan looking for a crush, but the Fiend's just going to set this one up. There's your Remnants fall for Nikra, ready to turn. Winter's Curse come out as well. EGM still alive for the time being. They'll finally take on the Night Stalker. But Nikra in the middle of this all. Mitch, incredible. There's just Sonic Wave. Calypso onto Matter on the back of it. Matter will be able to get himself out. It's a 2-for-1 at the moment, favouring the side of NLG. Shackle Shot comes out from Excalibur, trying to get himself away, bottling up Pycat with the right clicks. Remnant forward. Spartan may just go down as well. No, he's going to be fine. No, he's not. Pycat's there with a blink forward. Pycat cleaning up. Double kill for the Queen of Pain. Madara does get himself out, but the rest of the team not as lucky, Andy.
Yeah, that was funny. The tower kept hitting Pycat because he had Amp on, and I think he forgot that Amp gave vision because he stood there and just tanked like 8 tower shots. But a fantastic fight for 4CL, and once again showcasing the differences between Ember in a team fight versus what the AM can contribute prior to having that Manta available. He didn't even get his Mana Void off. He basically just stood there, auto-attacked a few people, and then was forced to blink out. Nico was in a team fight the whole time. Max Searing Chains did a ton of damage with Flame Guard, and pretty much allowed 4CL to win that fight just based on his sheer damage output. So 4CL still looking to pressure here. They secure the safe lane tier 1. They also showcase that they now have Winter's Curse available on Wyvern with level 4 Splinter Blast, so their nuke potential is actually very high right now. You got Void, you got Queen, Flare, Splinter Blast, and Ember. Like, you can burst anyone with that damage.
And Andy, I'm sorry if you mentioned this, but what do you reckon about this Bambo? He's going for the Midas on the clock. He's a madman.
He is a bit of a madman.
He's a madman.
I won't dispute that point. However, does he really need a particular item in this game? Like, does Blade Mail do a lot for you in this game? Does Force Staff really matter? Because your cores are extremely mobile, right? So it's not often you're going to have to Force Staff them. At the very least, you're going to hookshot in. You're going to go to try to interrupt like a Fiend's Grip or maybe catch out the Wind Ranger. And that's about it. You've pretty much done your job, I feel. So buying a Midas when you know the game could potentially go late, you already have a lead, I think it's fine.
All mid lane, Mitch. Mitch. He's in a bit of trouble here, EGM. He's just going to chase it down. In fact, there's 4 of them. A Remnant forward here, Mitch. He's going to go down there to the Searing Chains and Nikra. Oh, Bambo going in with a hook shot onto Milan. Milan will turn around with the brain stab. Try to turn this. Isn't going to be enough. Pycat's there from the high ground. The crush comes out, but there's your Winter's Curse. There we go. 3 kills for 4 Clovers. NLG don't have an answer for that one, and they may even just lose a tier 1 in the mid lane as well.
AM problems. That's what we got right now. It's just, it might have been too greedy. That's really what it boils down to. I'm not putting anything here on Madara. I think he's farmed amazing. And he's been pressured a bit, so he's been...
Hey, Pycatty Watty. Excalibur's in a bit of trouble here. Not going to get a chance to get off the win run here with a crippling fear, and Excalibur will get taken down. Pycat on an unstoppable streak, and it certainly feels that way as well.
Jesus, Pycat's going to have like a 19-20 minute Hex. That's insane. That's actually insane. So I guess you don't really need to buy Orchid if your Hex timing is only going to be a couple of minutes different anyway. I mean, look at that. That's the last tier 1. They can go back and look for things like Roshan if they want. I believe they also have... Well, at the very least, they have Cold Embrace, and they have Urn, so they have the heals for it. Oh, the smoke break.
Oh, Saxa.
Oh, my God.
Woo.
What a beast.
Jeez.
That was insane, actually.
Ah, he's a man. Saxa.
That's got to feel so bad if you're NLG. Yeah. Like, you needed that smoke to succeed. At the very least, you needed that smoke to pull 4CL's attention away from the AM. Like, something's got to give for them at this point, because the Ember and the Queen are both keeping up a net worth with the AM. They have a team that is more capable of fighting at this stage in the game. If NLG get the jump, all right, maybe they can make something happen. But if 4CL are fighting into you and they're prepared, your AM is still not ready to contribute yet. He needs more time.
3-11 at the moment. Bambo. He's going to start towards the Blade Mail now on top of the Midas by the looks of Andy.
Dude, Midas Gaming.
Well, Spartan and Madara, they've got something to say about it. Saxa, surprise, mother trucker! And there we go.
That's a good kill.
That is a good kill and a half. More money into the pocket there, Slaughter, and he's going to be happy with that one. Going towards that Blink Daggery-Doo fund, and 1,500 gold on the way to it as well.
The Yasha almost being done on Madara means that there's only, I'd say like 5-7 minutes worth of farm for AM at this point. If he gets a little bit of space, he'll be able to get his Manta at a very good timing. Even bypassing the Vlads, totally agree with that choice.
There goes Nikwa.
I don't think he's going to find anyone.
Here we go.
You can't really go on Tusk.
This is some sneaky shiz going on. The sentry's down. They do have Pike out with a Sonic Wave.
He's got Hex too. He just bought it on the courier.
Top tower has fallen.
So Hex up at 1830. Decent timing, you know, not bad. My question is, how did NLG actually do anything about this? I guess Spartan almost has Blink, right? 2,100 gold on him. You're gonna need like, where's your? I keep asking myself like, where's the damage coming from on NLG? Like they have Brain Sap, I guess, and Power Shot, stuff like that. But you have to be very coordinated and just blow somebody up before 4CL are able to really get themselves in a good spot. And if you do that, there's a good chance the Winter's Curse is going to counter what you're trying to do. You don't have any like Wombo combo or anything to fight around. You're basically just waiting until the AM has farm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And your AM's dead.
But is he?
He's dead.
Okay.
He's super dead.
I mean, I think this is great from Pycat. You know, you're talking about the Hex. It was the item really to just deal with Matter.
I mean, Orchid would have done the same thing there.
It would, but there's going to be a point where that becomes irrelevant.
Yes.
Hex, not so much at all. I mean, he's not going to be having a BKB anytime soon on the AM.
That is
he certainly doesn't want to.
That is very, very true. I do like the choice, though, because, I mean, he had such a good start that a lot of times you justify the Orchid just by how fast you can buy it, but the Hex is more expensive, but way better against the AM at the later stages of the game, as you already mentioned. So 4CL continuing to exude dominance here in the second game, controlling the map pretty well. Just waiting out to see if they want to try to maybe take Roshan. Bambo is, or not Bambo, EGM is getting kind of close to Aghanims. Okay. It's only about 1,800 away, more than half there.
Radiant's top tower is under
It's certainly going to make life a little bit harder for the side of NLG when that comes online. Especially with as active as 4 Clovers have been across the map. Looking to get the jumps out onto these heroes. And just having that vision, though, of course, to just get the initiation with the Scythe from a distance. It's going to be a mech complete now on Tusk for NLG. Mitch is going to be rolling that one out, and Saxa. Let's be a little bit careful here. You've got Spartan hiding in the tree line with that Blink Dagger. Slowly closing in, and now it's trying to close the gap here with the sprint, but Arctic Burns there from Saxa. They're just playing it safe now.
But look at how compact NLG are on the map. They're all sitting pretty much right next to each other. No one's farming anything but the AM. Whereas 4CL, they're going to take the initiative here and try to sneak a Roshan. This is the difference when you have to rely on one person to carry your team. You know that all your eggs are in the AM basket right now, so you have to protect them. And because I don't think, did they use their last smoke or do they have another one available on NLG? Because if they don't have a smoke, then going for this protect the AM strat is the only play. Okay, so they have one. But if the smoke doesn't work, then you're pretty much back to the same place you were before, right? And 4CL have total confidence in their ability to kill Roche, even though their team is not really that good at it, just because they have the map control.
No, they're going to take it. Pycat picks it up. And Pycat, what's this kind of KDA looking like at the moment? It's got to be pretty flashy here. On the
he hasn't died.
He hasn't died, and he's got no time for kind of fanning around with assists either. He's all about the kills.
If he attacks a hero, he gets the kill.
He gets the kill.
I can respect that.
I think NLG certainly will need to as well if they wish to try and take him down, because this Pycat Quap certainly putting up a mean fight against the lineup of NLG. Okay, I guess the question really is, what does Pycat go now that he's got a Scythe? What does he get next?
If he wanted to play it ultra safe, he could go back for like BKB or something. He could go Aghanims too. I think Aghanims after the Hex is really good, because then you have like decent wave clear, you can transition into the later stages of the game. Your burst damage is nuts. But you can also say like BKB could be the game-ending item for him. Like you just get it, and then you win a fight, and then you win.
There's going to be the smoke coming out from the suit at the top. Spartan's still hiding in the tree line here on that slider.
You know what? I take that back. He's going to buy Midas.
Okay. Nah.
Dude, PyCat buys Midas on this hero all the time.
PyCat.
This is actually a good game to do it.
He's not going to do it.
He typically buys it when they're losing really hard, and he's like, well, nothing else I buy matters anyway, so I might as well get a Midas. Like, that's the kind of Midas that he buys. So if he's going to buy that Midas, he would totally buy this Midas. He already has the only item he needs to kill the AM. Nothing else that he buys, like, immediately is going to be, like, crazy OP good. Because even if he buys BKB, they can't just go high ground. Their team sucks at high ground. They have to wait. So what better way to utilize the map than to buy a Midas?
I guess so. I mean, we'll see if your logic is correct.
Nah, he's not going to buy a Midas.
Nah, he's got the money now.
He's definitely not going to buy a Midas. I just
Was he going for like a Shivas maybe at this point? Something else to try and help with the high ground advance when it comes around to it?
Yeah, Shivas wouldn't be bad. The one thing that you have to be very conscious of when you're playing against AM is he will TP for base defense when he has Manta, and if you have a gigantic mana pool and you're getting low, you become like a nuclear bomb for your team, right? You stand too close and you get wrecked. So that's why I was recommending maybe BKB or Aghanims, because at least then you're tankier.
Oh, Bambo. That was a beautiful one. Straight onto Excalibur, just as he was trying to TP himself out. And yeah, Excalibur's gone. That's going to be a pick off there and a clean one as well for 4 Clovers. And they'll look to try and take this tier 2. And NLG, they're certainly struggling here, Andy.
It is looking rough at the moment. On the bright side, Madara is only, let's see, 200 gold away? No. He already had it. Never mind. All right.
Oh, PyCat with the Sonic Wave. The Hex onto Spartan. Blinks forward. Spartan's going to lift the TP out. Is it going to work today, some? Monster kill streak here for PyCat. Another kill here for the Quap. And the rest of NLG just sent scattering back to the base, and double damage is going to be popped in the bottle here for PyCat. You've got Milan in a place where he probably doesn't want to be. He's got a TP, but he's going to chill there for a bit on the bay.
The Manta is a big deal, though. This is the stage where he can actually fight. Like, he doesn't have to just sit back and wait anymore. If they're pushing high ground, for example, or even pushing into a tower, and they start the fight off with a smoke, one good shackle can just mean, boom, blink in, pop Manta, hit a few times, mana void, dead hero. You know, that team fight turning potential is there from NLG. It's just all down to the initiation now. Can they actually make it happen? They got tier 2 standing at 25 minutes, which is a good sign. The more space the AM has to work with, the better at this stage.
Unequal, let's see what we can do in the mid. Power shot will find him out here. He'd love to try and move in. PyCat. How long till PyCat Sonic Waves back up?
70 seconds.
Long time indeed. They're still saving up that gold as well. I mean, with the early side pickup, would perhaps an early Octarine complement it?
That's an interesting thought, actually.
Won't be too shabby.
But if you buy Octarine, aren't you kind of buying it for the ulti cooldown more than the Hex cooldown? And at that stage, isn't it better to just get
Ags? I guess so. I guess so. Hey,
Fiend script.
I think this man might be a dead man there. Should have the control, and they certainly do more than enough stuns here to keep Nika in place. And these are the kind of kills the NLG are going to be happy finding. The big ones onto the position 1 at 4 Clovers.
I really want to know what PyCat's buying. Spend your money. Now I know what it feels like when everybody who watches when I stream, when I don't spend my money, how they feel. Because I do it on purpose, right?
What's he going to buy?
It's like, why aren't you buying anything?
I didn't quite get the amplifier out in time, yeah. Okay, they're trying to look at this, turning around with the Winter Skulls into Matter. Bambo with a hook shot across, trapping up Mitch. It's going to be Shackle flying through, but actually gets dodged there by the Nightmare. PyCat's going to be able to walk off. Mitch comes in with the snowball still, looking for the control, but PyCat has got the blink, and he gets the Hex out in time, looking to see if the rest of his team can finish off that kill onto Mitch. Oh no! They were not the shards that Mitch was looking for. Ends up just trapping himself in with EGM. So they lose Mitch here on the Tusk. It's going to be the end of the fight. So still 15 for 5, 4 Clovers with the lead, but Matter as AM is continuing to be at the top of the net worth board. It certainly continues to be an issue.
He's farmed like a whole Vlad's as well, almost. He just needs the mass.
This is good timing for him.
It is kind of getting to that stage where the AM can become a little bit of an issue. It's not as if your Ember has a ton of physical damage yet either. I don't know, I think NLG actually have a shot. It's not like, it's not a huge one, but it's okay. If 4CL make a mistake, which in the past they have done when they're pushing high ground, the AM could punish them crazy hard for that. Yeah. And then you're looking at a game where, all right, we got BKB now done on PyCat, so that was the choice. He's got the Hex still, but they need to kill him in the Hex now, otherwise he gets away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you still got the follow-up of the Winter's Curse.
Yeah, but you would imagine that if his timing isn't like perfect when the Manta comes out, then the AM just blinks, right? Because
Yeah.
you always save your blink for the Manta. That way you can dispel any like negative effects, searing chains, silence, what have you, and then you just immediately get yourself out. Oh god, they're gonna run right into him.
Smoke on smoke action here. He's going to kick it off. Nico moves forward, gets the Hex onto Mitch. Have they got the control? Have they got the follow? The Winter's Curse comes out to Spartan. They're going to be able to take down the Slaughter. They move forward for more here. Remnanting in. Hookshot comes in as well from Bambo. They found themselves the Bane. They do lose the Wyvern here. And this Pycat cleaning up though. Double kill. Looking for Matter. Matter is trying to juke it out, but the daggers to the backside is going to be there. The Rocket Flare as well. Matter is going to try and TP out. Is the tick damage enough to get the kill? Yes, it is. Pycat.
That was so close.
With a triple kill. It's a team wipe against the side of NLG. And this man on the quad, he's pretty damn good, Pycat.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. It was kind of a
Has he
poor-
died yet?
No, he hasn't died.
No, he's not died
He's
yet.
11 and 0.
Oh, he got 2 assists though.
It was a poor choice of targeting though from Madara there. He went on the Winter Wyvern after the ulti had already come out, and he preemptively popped his mana, then mana voided, got damage dealt to him from the Blade Mail of Bambo, and brought himself to half HP just dropping a mana void, right? So the biggest problem now is just making sure that he finds the right target to go on. You have to go on somebody with a larger mana pool, or wait out the BKB of Pycat, I suppose, because that's probably the main reason why he doesn't do it. Obviously, if you're Magic main, you're not going to get the feedback, or mana break rather. But he needs to find that big mana void to win an engagement.
Yeah, Bambo's nearly got the Aghanim as well as done here on this court work. Thanks to that Midas, paying off indeed in the long run.
Also, it didn't really help that the Sardar missed a stun at the start of the fight.
No, Spartan kind of panic stunned. Nico with the Crystallis. And 1500 gold on top of it as well. I mean, it's still looking up here, really, for the side of 4Clovers very much. So it's just what this anti-mage can achieve. Manta Star, Vlad's only 700 ahead of it. I mean, what does Madara have to go for next? Does he need to get himself something like a Basher so he's got a bit more control in these fights and can actually lock himself onto an opponent and take down the enemy heroes?
It wouldn't be a bad thing to have Basher at this point. This is the tough choice though, right? Because you're torn between two things. Do I need BKB to make myself pretty much invincible in the team fight? It would accomplish that.
Yeah,
But then
that's
you
true.
run the risk of not having a target to hit. Sometimes you kind of get kited around. There's going to be like cogs in the team fight. Ember is hard to focus on. Queen is hard to focus on if they're not disabled. And then you go and say, okay, do I need Basher for the CC? And then you run the risk of getting disabled too much. So I think BKB is the safer option, especially when 4CL could be threatening high ground in the next couple of minutes, now that Roshan is back up. If they go Rosh and they go high ground, BKB, in my opinion, is definitely the choice. Or he could just save for buyback. That's also the other option.
It's the night time from the boys. Are they going to do anything with it? NLG, they're keeping themselves safe here. Hanging back behind the tier 2. Top lane, he's just got Nika at the moment, just clearing out the waves, making sure that he's being as efficient as possible on this Ember Spirit. Looks like they're just going to back themselves up at 4Clovers. Not quite finding the opening that they're hoping for. Matter is on this top lane. It would be a very, very tasty find, but he's playing it very safely here. And straight into the corner of the map. He's going to be fine. Hides away. But I mean, at this point, as you said, 4Clovers still have to be careful about entering into a fight where one big mana void and an anti-mage clearing up could certainly put NLG back in the driver's seat.
Especially considering there's only one BKB. That's the biggest thing. More BKBs come out, all right, it becomes a little bit harder for the AM to really have that big wombo combo teamfight contribution, especially since EGM has gem Aghanims and he's just walking around dewarding everything. Like, restricting the vision away from an AM who already doesn't really have that much of a map to work with is very tough to fight into, man. Like, this situation is nightmare.
Ooh, Bambo tried to go for a hook shot down to Excalibur. A little bit off the mark there. But yeah, as you said, just shutting down the map against this anti-mage is going to at least put a bit of control onto him.
Got the Hex. Oh, not going to chase.
I was going to say, I don't know if they want to go for anything more off the back of that. It's a little bit too deep. NLG, they want to fight Spartan. Whiffs the stun, but they do get the shackle shot to Saxa. Saxa's not going to die, though. He's still alive. He has to go to get. There's your mana void coming out. I mean, it kills the Wyvern, but now it's Excalibur himself. He's going to go down, and this is already becoming a favorable trade for 4Clovers. They've found one. They may find two as well. They're looking for Mitch. Nico just cleaning out the anti-mage illusions. He's found Mitch, and he'll find himself the kill. There's a buyback from Saxa on the Wyvern. So it is a 2-for-1. 4Clovers buyback on the Winter Wyvern. And they'll maybe try and force something here with it. Roshan is up, though. That could also be the focus here for the side. But nonetheless, again, anti-mage, maybe with not really the favorable mana void. They do get that kill, but they're just struggling to deal with the cause of 4Clovers.
I think it was a bit odd that Madara decided to chase Pycat. Like, Pycat popped BKB and blinked away. And at that point, I'm like, if I'm AM, all right, sweet. The queen's out of the fight. I just go hit somebody else. But he blinks up the high ground and continually pursues, even not having Mana Void, because he used it to finish off the Winter Wyvern. So I really don't know about that choice there from the AM. And the reason why I keep talking about his decisions in the fight is because he is the one who has all the farm.
Yeah.
Like, if you are not carrying your team and you have this much net worth, you have to be liable, right? Because he's the only one who can do anything. Sure, you can land a nice shackle. You can maybe get a Fiend's Grip off. That would be fantastic. But at the end of the day, it's got to be him. Like, no one else can fill those shoes at this point.
Spartan. Very deep wraparound, pops down the wall, but Bambo with this invis is going to set it up here for the side of for 4 Clovers. And Spartan getting caught out there by the Tin Can man, who had a very fortunate invis rune to allow him to find that way in, and the D-Wall will be there straight away. Of course, EGM says good luck trying to get any map vision over our side of the map, because it's just not going to happen at this point against the Night Stalker.
Yeah, this is a rough one for sure. But the Basher being done, I wonder if he'll finish Abyssal before he goes BKB. It does give him the potential to like blow up a hero, and to be honest, he's been relatively safe in the team fights.
Here we go, coming from Milan, and this is going to be a second pick-off, and that is their gem gone.
That sucks. That's like... that just sucks. When you don't have a way of dewarding yourself when you're playing against Night Stalker, then you're kind of just scared all the time.
Make it matter. Bambo looking for a hook shot. Isn't going to use it. Knows that there's not really the follow-up behind him to continue to lock down the AM. 34 minutes. What's the overall graph looking like? How much is Anti-Mage's farm negating the difference? No, not really that much. 14k.
He's not even that much ahead of the Queen, to be fair. Like, Pycat has done a really good job of keeping up in the overall net worth charts. Yeah.
And that's with Anti-Mage hitting more than twice the amount of creeps that Pycat has. And obviously just down to the fact that Pycat's been very involved across the map. And what was his KD? How many kills has he been involved in out of the 24? It's got to be a good percentage of them.
Pycat's 14.
14 of the 24, yeah. Rosham. It's going to be the point of call here for 4 Clovers. And once again, NLG not really in a position where they can do anything about this, even if they were aware that it was going up. We'll find this. Madura does find himself at tier 2 for free on the top lane for NLG Gaming. Some more money into the bank of him yet.
He's got buyback as well. I mean, it sounds like a long shot, but NLG can still win a fight. It's just very difficult.
Very difficult. I mean, they do have the tusk for the Guardian Greaves, so the little things coming online that NLG might rely on to turn one of these 5v5 engagements.
If they get like a Slardar Crush into a 2-hero Shackle, I think that's when you can start to see the fight turn. Especially if they hit somebody like Wyvern, because he's the one who really breaks up the fight, throws out the Winter's Curse, and then makes things kind of a nightmare for the rest of NLG. If something like that happens, I could easily see them winning an engagement.
I mean, Madara himself, he built the Basher. Does he have to go full in on the Abyssal now, or do you think we'll see him pick up something else for that next slot he's got going?
He spent his money, so...
Oh, he's gone all in for the Abyssal.
He's got the Abyssal, yeah.
So that is, of course, putting him in a position where he doesn't have buyback.
Yes, and
so
also doesn't have BKB.
This is all in for the map.
It's all in, but I think it's the right kind of all in, because you know that even if you have buyback, let's say, all right, the AM has buyback, and that's it. Like, nobody else on the team of NLG had the money anyway. So if he dies and buys back, you have to assume that your whole team is going to be gone by the time you're back anyway. So what's the point in fighting a 1v5 after you lose the initial engagement? Shackle's going to miss.
Yeah, Winter's Curse dropped down onto Excalibur as well here. See if 4 Clovers commit more, and they do a hook shot from Bambo onto Spartan, isolating him from the fight. That's a final kill onto Slardar. Guardian Greaves comes out. It's not going to be enough to save Spartan. Niqua does get bashed up here, but the Hex is onto Matter. A Sonic Wave as well from Pycat. They're looking to try and find the kill onto this Anti-Mage. The silence comes through from the Night Stalker, and they will. That's going to be the 3rd kill there in this fight. And this is that point where 4 heroes go down. Triple kill for EGM. And of course, as we were just reiterating before this fight, Anti-Mage does not have the gold for buyback. He's now down for 70 seconds.
Yep.
And with that, we'll see 4 Clovers at least try for 1 set of racks. They may be even able to get themselves 2 off the back of that fight.
It could actually just be game, because like Pycat still has the Aegis, so he even buys like a full AC. Yeah, like how are you going to get 4CL out of your base? That's a problem. And we just saw really the biggest issue. When Madara goes in, Pycat saved his Hex and just went on him.
That's a nice shackle shot on TGM, but that's pretty much it. Pycat blinks forward, gets the Hex down. Remnant forward as well from Nikwa. They're ready to go. The snowballs come out with a change from Nikwa onto Excalibur. He'll find the kill onto the Wind Ranger. They'll also find the kill onto Mitch. He kind of YOLO'd in with his balls, and double kill for Nikwa. And they'll just look to find these racks at the bottom. Anti-Mage is going to be back up in 20. The rest of the team are gonzo though. Milan needs to be a big EGM. He's not going to dive this, just popping down the silence to keep Milan at bay. In mid lane, they'll look for a second set of racks here. Anti-Mage is back up in 5. Can he do anything to turn this? Going to be quite an ordeal. I mean, there's a fair bit of mana missing on Pycat's squad, but Bambo hooks straight into Milan. Milan will nightmare himself. He's going to go down, and in fact, they've got the control here with the Winter's Curse. Spartan this time just get the crisp, but Pycat, he got the BKB just off in time. Madara trying to turn on to me, he quits. Nice mana void, but it doesn't matter.
A Lotus Sword, dude.
Oh.
Oh, the Dream. And the Blade Mail.
I think the Blade Mail on Bambo was the real kicker on top of it, yeah. Falling apart here for the side of NLG Gaming, 34 for 7.
I think it might be over, Owen.
I think it may be 39 minutes in. Madara, you've got to say hats off to the man. He did his job in terms of farm, but so did Pycat and so did Nikwa for the side of 4 Clovers.
4C played a very slow and controlled game, which is, I guess, a bit of a change-up from the norm. They picked aggressive heroes, got a lead, and then they just stuck with it, which is nice to see, because sometimes they have a tendency to go a little too ham.
Yeah, Mitch, he's trying to fight this Fiend's grip. Comes down to EGM. They might actually get the kill on Night Stalker.
Oh, he didn't even get it! The crit! Alright, rip.
Nikwa. Alright. Hey, that's the cleanup. That's the one. That's not good. Ooh, Pycat. Now, let's see how good the timing is here. Okay, BKB. That's going to do the job. Oh, he needs a bash. Oh, no.
I think you're dead, dude.
Oh, Spartan. Yep. Oh, these.
Oh. All right. That was a Kappa Ross moment right there.
Oh, dear.
Bambo. It's a Bambo play right here, boys.
Here we go. One Bambo play, please. Yes, here we go, sir. Bambo. No, Madara. No, Bambo. Hey, is this the comeback? I think this might be the comeback, Andy.
The mana burn, dude. Here comes the mana void.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not even going to use it.
No. Okay. Holding themselves on this one. They don't get megaed. And the fight will continue. And maybe NLG could turn this one, Andy.
Well, I've seen crazier comebacks. And that's true. I actually have seen crazier comebacks. Everyone remembers the Alliance game, right? So, AM. He's at 1,500 gold now. He needs BKB at this point.
Oh, he does.
The BKB is necessary to protect you for when you go on somebody with Abyssal Blade and Manta, because then it ensures that outside of a hook shot or a Winter's Curse directly targeting you, that you'll be able to get your Mana Void on the target that you want, and you won't get it reflected by Blade Mail or Lotus. So that's the shot right now for NLG. That is their card.
Okay. I mean, how's the graph looking in terms of the...
Probably not great.
I mean, the turnaround...
It's not great.
It's not really a turn... Oh, there's a little bit of a turnaround there. There we go. You know, it's not about the size. It's about what you do with it. NLG, they've got to think long and hard about that one. Still playing on the back foot here. Madara, got a lot of heavy carrying to do here. That's the thing. Bambo. Oh, I love this. I do like this build here from the clock.
Is this the Octa meme?
Of course it is.
All right.
Oh, Terrain Core. It's the only way here, and there we have it.
All right, so we got the 9-second hook shots.
The clock Terrain Core.
Yeah, that's the ultimate Bambo technology right now.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Run, boys.
Oh, there we go. Bambo. He's found himself a Mitch, and Mitch... Well, he's going to have to find himself a place in the graveyard. Oh, Winter's Curse here. Oh, Milan taking so much damage from Madara and Spartan. 2 heroes down. Spartan trying to get himself away, but EGM's there with a crippling fear. He's going to move and chase this down. Now here's Madara. Here we go. He's about to carry this one. No. Here we go. Madara. Here we go with the bash. There's Mana Void. He's managed to take down Saxa. Madara. He's no. Okay, buybacks. We've got the buybacks. Let's see if they can. All right, Spartan gets the. Oh, there's Shackle. Oh, the Lotus Orb Shackle. That's... Oh,
right.
Madara, here we go. He's about to carry this. No.
I don't know about that one, dude.
GG well played. GG well played. Okay.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty.
A very well executed game from 4C+L, all things considered. Madara did what he could.
He did what he could. He did a lot, to be fair.
Really
Hats
big
off to
shoes
Madara.
to fill, man. Like, trying to carry this game as the AM by
He
yourself.
outdid himself today in terms of farm.
It is really difficult in this situation, but I think even picking AM as a last pick, still too greedy. Like, AM is just so hard to run right now in the current state of the game. Everyone fights, everyone deathballs. Picking AM is just inviting trouble, I think, into your draft. So I'm curious to actually hear what the couch has to say about that hero, because I still feel like in very niche situations, you can get away with it. Like maybe you have a Magnus or something like that, or you got some crazy wombo combo. But in the end, whenever I see it, the first thing I think is the other team's just going to win before you can do anything.
Pretty much.
And that's kind of what happened, even though it was still like a 40-plus minute game.
He was getting the items out, Madara.
He was trying to out-farm his entire team.
Yes.
And the other team at the same time, because obviously NLG were kind of getting picked a lot that game, right? So you're trying to compensate for the kills and the CS differential between all those heroes, and it's too much.
Certainly was, and 4 Clovers, they take the second game. I've just got to remember the fact that no logic game would dictate the first, so the series does end 1-1 between the two sides, and that is it for Games of Dota 2 today. But thank you very much for watching myself and Andy here on the casting desk. We're going to head over to the panel, and they'll be able to tell us what that all means at the end of the day in terms of standings for the teams overall. We'll see you guys about.